everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Monica, for those of you who do not know. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A of myself. I've done one with Thomas and me a couple of weeks ago, and then like at the very beginning of my channel I did like a get to know me, which wasn't a Q&A. Was it a Q&A? I think I was just telling you about myself. I don't know, it's been a while. Do you like my choker? It's a little bit lower than I normally wear chokers, but apparently I have like the tiniest neck ever. Anyway, I have my iced coffee. If you're wondering what I'm drinking Stoke cold brew coffee with Coffee Mate, no sugar, Italian sweet cream. And it's like the best thing ever. I'm super pumped. I have a list of 30 questions. Some of them were repeat that people asked, so I just like took all of the questions, and of course I didn't like repeat any of them. I'm just gonna get started. Gosh, I'm sorry, I'm wearing lip gloss. My hair keeps like sticking to it. Well, it's like a lip cream. I don't know. Whatever. Do you like my hair? I kind of like my hair like this. It's grown a lot over the past year, and I'm super pumped about it. The first question is, tell us some interesting things about yourself. Like, do you have any hidden talents? I guess you can say I have hidden talents. I mean, it's not that I've like purposely hid them, but I do play the piano. And I was in the band in high school, for those of you who don't know. I've mentioned it a couple of times on my channel, but music is a huge part of my life. I used to compete statewide in piano. I won a couple of times. I was pretty excited. I love piano. My keyboard is back there. It's in the kitchen area because we don't have a kitchen set yet. Priorities. But piano is definitely like my forte between the two. I played flute in band, and I still play the flute. I have a soft place in my heart for the piano because the piano was something I wanted to start doing when I was 5, and so I have been playing, oh my gosh, like almost 20 years. That's weird. I do continuously play it. It's not like a dying art. I do try to keep up so that way I don't lose that talent, you know, like it takes a lot of skill, but it does take, you know, a little bit of talent as well, in my opinion. I also do sing. I recently got into singing. That was the last musical thing I aspired for. I actually do know how to sing. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm the best because that would be conceited, and I know I'm not, but I actually do think I have a decent voice and I really like to do it. So yeah, and I have double jointed elbows. That's not really a talent, that's just a weird thing. Somebody asked, when's your birthday? My birthday is November 7th. I was born in 1996, so I'm a 90s baby. So yeah, I was born in 1996. I'll be turning 24 this year, which is extremely hard to believe, and I wish time would stop going so fast. Yeah. The next one is, have you ever had braces or whitened your teeth? No. I do use whitening toothpaste, but I don't like get them professionally bleached, and I don't use like 3D white strips or any kind of like whitening trays. I just, I'm really blessed in that area. I don't know. I make up for it with like problematic skin though. Actually, like that's one of the things I'm the most confident in is like my teeth and my smile. I got really blessed in that case. I got a nice combination of like my parents' teeth. So yeah, thanks parents and the rest of my family who contributed to my awesome teeth. Not being conceited. All right, favorite TV shows and movies of all time. Okay, so my all-time favorite TV shows are Friends. Obviously, I love Friends. I also really like The Nanny with Fran Drescher. That's a 90s show. I'm a really big 90s show person. You're gonna see that as I continue because I don't know, like I like them more than sitcoms now, which is unfortunate since sitcoms now are still, you know, like being produced and stuff, but sitcoms of the past are of the past. I really like Frasier as well. Frasier is an extension from the 80s show Cheers, which I also really like Cheers, but I like Frasier better. They took Frasier off of Netflix as well as Friends. Everybody knows about Friends, but nobody really knows about Frasier, and I just don't know what to do. I am getting into Golden Girls. I can't really say if it's one of my all-time favorites yet because I'm obviously still in the middle of the series and haven't seen it before. I think those are all my favorite TV shows. My like kid favorite TV show is like Lizzie McGuire and Hannah Montana, but like I don't watch those anymore because those are children's TV shows. Favorite movies of all time. I love While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock. That is, gosh, it's my favorite movie ever. I bought it on Amazon Prime. I just can't stop watching it. It's just amazing. I also really like Top Gun. I have a thing about planes. My family on my mom's side is really big into planes. Like my grandpa was a pilot, like a commercial pilot, and then my uncle is like he's not, I mean, he's a certified pilot. He's not like a commercial pilot for like, you know, airlines, but he has like his own plane and maybe a couple of planes. I don't know. This makes me sound like really spoiled. I don't really see these people. I love them because they're my family, but I don't really see them. But yeah, I know that sounds so funny, but I like Top Gun. I like all of that kind of stuff about the planes. I find them very interesting. Don't get me wrong, I don't know a bunch about planes. I just like the movie, okay? So like, don't start asking me questions and like testing me. I will probably fail. I liked The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock. I like Sandra Bullock a lot, but that movie I just...
Sorry, I don't know that.
I wasn't talking to you, Alexa. I feel like I need to talk more about TV shows because there are other TV shows. I just mentioned like a bunch of sitcoms. I really do like Ozark. That's obviously not finished yet, but Thomas and I just finished season 3 and I don't know what we're gonna do with ourselves now. I will have to say that show is really dark. So sometimes I have to like go take a break and like watch Golden Girls and be like, okay, so not everybody kills each other over like drugs and money and the cartel. Gosh, this video is so much fun. Advice you'd give your younger self, relationships, life, etc. Don't invest so much into relationships, Monica. I was really bad about like putting everything into a relationship and then being really disappointed when the other person wouldn't put nearly as much effort in. Halsey's song Without Me, I relate on such a deep level. She talks about basically like I'm putting all of this stuff in and you're taking advantage of me. You're treating me like garbage, and that was basically like my life. They weren't all terrible, okay? I feel like I dog them every single time like my exes come up. I feel like I'm like dogging them. No, they're not terrible people. We just were not compatible. I would tell myself, slow down, especially in high school relationships and like when you're really young. Don't go into it thinking, I'm gonna marry this person. That is silly because yes, there are, you know, like high school sweethearts and sometimes they last, sometimes they don't, whatever. That's not the point. The point is you shouldn't go into it thinking that you're eventually going to marry this person because the likelihood of that happening is very small now. That used to be, you know, a lot bigger with like my grandparents were high school sweethearts on my dad's side. But like, most people don't date the same person forever and then marry them because a lot of people change, and it's interesting, you know, to think about like how people could possibly change at the same rate as the person they're dating, because that was always a problem with me was I was maturing. I'm pretty mature for my age, I would say. I get that a lot too. That was like a really big problem, especially in like my last relationship. I was maturing so much faster and he was maturing at a different level, and that's not even like a fault of his. It was more of like, you know, women mature faster than men anyway. It's don't reach full adult maturity until like the age of 35 or something. Statistical fact that women mature faster than men, so expecting somebody to grow at the exact same rate as you when you were in high school and even younger is just silly. Don't invest so much in life. I would probably tell myself to stand up for myself more. I'm not what you would call a pushover. Like, yeah, I joke about it sometimes. I'm not really a pushover. I'm just a really big people pleaser. So I will put, and I still do this like really bad, I put everybody's needs ahead of myself, and like, it's not even like a fault of theirs. I will just like constantly be like doing stuff for other people, wanting approval from other people. And then like when I don't get it, I get really down on myself and like disliking myself for ridiculous reasons. You know, and so I would tell myself to, while you can be kind and selfless, also consider your own feelings, because at the end of the day, you can be as sweet to somebody as possible and you can still be unfulfilled. Do you know what I mean? That's the advice I'd give myself. Something you wish you were better at. I don't know, being nice to myself. Yeah, probably being nice to myself. I'm kind of mean to me. You know, I'm kind of hard on myself. That's like the main thing that pops out. I'm sure there are a lot of different things. Like, I have flaws. Like, I'm way too sensitive, probably because I'm so hard on myself. There are several things, but the number one thing I would say was I wish I weren't so hard on myself. Like, I put a lot of pressure on myself all the time to do things right and to make sure that everybody's happy and to clean. There's a bunch of different things. Yeah, okay. Things bigger YouTubers do that you hate. Oh man. I don't know, I just feel like bigger YouTubers get away with a lot more stuff. But what I mean by that is like, so for example, like there will be bigger YouTubers that I used to be subscribed to and I'm not anymore, that like will upload one video every like 3 to 6 months, and they'll be like the same kind of videos. Like, it's usually with YouTubers who have like their own lines or collaborations with brands, and it'll be like, here's a brand new product. Here's a video of me showing you how to use a product. I'm gonna do a random video here to make you think that I'm not using my product all the time and trying to promote it. And then 6 months later, it'll be the same thing all over again. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like being a smaller YouTuber, you have to be so much more creative with like your video ideas, which makes sense because you're trying to get views, you're trying to get noticed. Being a smaller YouTuber, being a YouTuber in general, you have to be a people pleaser to some certain extent because you're trying to accommodate to people's wants and needs and whatever so they can come and watch your video and, you know, like your video. But I feel like bigger YouTubers, like, they don't have to put that much effort in. Like, for me, I'm constantly thinking, what can I film to make people like really want to come to my channel and that's really unique, and it's hard. And then like bigger YouTubers are like, oh my gosh, this brand new product, and literally that product has been out for like 6 months and you're like, it's really not a brand new product. I reviewed that on my smaller channel, my much smaller channel, like 4 months ago, and now you're just talking about it. Like, it's been around so they can get away with it because they're bigger, and I'm not even hating on them for that. It just kind of drives me crazy, you know? Does that make sense? A breakup advice. How have you moved on from exes? Man, people want to know about my past relationships. First of all, don't wait forever to do it. Because I've been in 4 relationships. The one I'm in right now is the 4th one. My first one, he broke up with me, but I was already unhappy. Second one, he broke up with me and I was just really confused, but I kind of like maybe felt like we weren't gonna last because it was high school. The third one, I waited freaking like a year and a half to break up with him when I knew that we weren't gonna work out because there were so many differences between us that were just not compatible, and like there was no freaking way it was gonna work. If you think that the relationship is not healthy or that it's not making you happy, go with your gut feeling, end it then instead of dragging it out, because not only are you making yourself miserable, but you're stringing the other person along, and that's wrong. You should just go ahead and end it. They'll hate you for the time being. Don't go, like, if you're really hurt by a breakup, don't be angry. Let yourself heal and actually feel the pain, because that is how you truly move on. You know, you see all these girls and guys or whatever that like lash out at their exes like from like 3 or 4 years ago or whatever, and they're like, they come after them, or they still hate them, or they still trash talk them to their friends. And like, that's, I mean, you're not over them if that's the case, you know? So you really need to let yourself heal. Break up with people if you think that you need to, because waiting it out is not going to do anything but make you more miserable, string them along, and make them more miserable as well. I've moved on from exes, honestly. This is going to sound terrible. 2 of my exes I was already like pretty much over, like before we officially broke up, so it was really easy to move on because I had already like, you know, been through the pain and been tired of the pain, so I just let myself feel it. And by the time we broke up, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Like, I was sad. I was like mourning the loss of like having a companion. One of them was so out of the blue. I mean, like, I was like sad for a little bit, but he moved and it wasn't that serious because it was a high school relationship. So like, I wasn't really that bothered. This iced coffee is so good. What high school did you go to? I went to Chelsea High School in Chelsea, Alabama. I graduated in 2015. What is your middle name? It's such an odd question. My middle name is Anna, so it's Monicanna. Monicanna? Like Tropicana? I don't know. What's something weird that you do? Freaking my facial expressions, man. Like, I'm like, I'm in such a weird mood. I feel like I'm very Chandler, like, in the way I, like, approach things. Like, God bless Thomas. He has to deal with all of this. Like, he'll be, like, asking me, like, it's not a dumb question. It'll just be, like, an obvious question, so I'll pick on him about it. He'll be like, is that, like, this is an example. He's never done this particular thing before, but, like, if we're walking to the grocery store, he's like, is that person, like, using a basket? And I'll be like, no, honey, they just thought that it would be fun to roll something that looked like a basket across the floor. Like, I say that kind of crap all the time, God bless him. And then I freaking make all these weird facial expressions and noises with my mouth, like when I'm telling a story and I'm laughing so hard that I can't even breathe, or like when I think something's funny and I get like really high because it's so funny and I start talking like that. Gosh, people probably think I'm so freaking annoying. When did you start wearing makeup? I started wearing makeup at the end of my 8th grade year. It was so bad, so bad. I wore it to a dance. I had a huge crush on this guy who's like kind of ugly now, so that's what you get for not dating me. Just kidding. He's not ugly. That's so mean. He's not very attractive now. Okay. Yeah, I wore like freaking blue eyeshadow and clear mascara, no eyeliner. My eyebrows were bushy at the time, and because I hadn't started like plucking them or anything yet. and like really weird lipstick. It was really bad. I also wore foundation that was supposed to clear me out but broke me out because it had like salicylic acid, but there was like a bunch of other ingredients that were like terrible for my skin at the time. This is a two-part question. When did you get into makeup? What inspired you to get into it? Okay, I just kind of realized that the first part of that question is similar to the last question I just answered. But I mean, I started wearing it in the 8th grade. I really got into it in high school. Like that's what I really like started watching YouTube and started like actually trying to look good. So yeah, I guess I would say like sophomore to junior years when I really started like watching YouTube and getting into it. What inspired me to get into it? Acne. I had like, my acne was really bad when I was 18. That's when it like was at its worst. But like in high school, I was like, man, like, cause you know, like you go to high school with all these like really pretty girls and you're like, I wish that I were them, but you don't, I mean like you kind of wish you were them, but you just want to be pretty and you just want guys to notice you, and that sounds so silly. And you know, it didn't help that like I had like low self-esteem. How times have not changed. And I dated a guy who would like be like, she's pretty, like to me, and I was like, don't tell me that. Like I'm like a 17-year-old girl and you're sitting here toying with my feelings. Yeah, I really started getting into like makeup because of acne, but then I started like really noticing like how to, you know, do eyeshadow and eyeliner because of YouTube. It's a beautiful day in Huntsville. How have your makeup tastes changed over the years? Well, let's see. I went from wearing an acne clearing foundation that was shiny. I had oilier skin in high school. It's kind of transitioned to more like combination, like dryish. I feel like I have dehydrated skin, which is why I'm drinking so much water now. I actually have my water bottle in the fridge. The beginning of me wearing makeup wasn't really my makeup taste. I just didn't know what I was doing. So really, like, let's talk about it a little bit later. When I was a senior in high school is when I was really diving into makeup. Like, I mean, yeah, sophomore, junior year is when I was really like starting to watch YouTube. But senior year was when I was really trying a bunch of different things. Like I was trying out foundation and trying out like concealer. During that time, I went with like the mattest foundation I could find. I started off with L'Oreal True Match, which is not matte. But I got into L'Oreal Pro Matte, the Infallible, which I still love, by the way. And that one was my favorite for 4 years. That was my favorite for 4 years because I started wearing it at the beginning of 2015. I changed my foundation to Fresh Wear last year, right around this time. So yeah, I mean, like I was like a true diehard fan of that foundation. I still really like it. Actually, after this quarantine thing is over, I'm gonna go back and buy it and see like if I love it as much as I did. Like I've tried it recently within the past like 5 months, but to be honest, I just wonder if it's as good as I remember it being like for those 4 years. Now I like satin finish over matte. My skin looks kind of satin right now if you really look. Some of that glow. I do like satin finish. I think it's a little bit more natural. That's so funny since I'm so natural looking all the time. Yeah, I'm more of a satin finish, natural finish. I like coverage, but finish wise, I don't want it to be completely matte because it looks just like it can, especially if you have like a couple of dry patches or something, it can look really cakey and ugh. I started like implementing like highlighters here and there on my face, but not like this stripe. I don't like that because I think that does look unnatural, especially when you're outside. So I would say that mainly like my foundation tastes have maybe altered a little bit, and then my eyeshadow tastes, like today, I would call this, I heard Jessica Braun talking about it and she heard it from another YouTuber and I don't remember her name, but a watercolor effect with your eyeshadow. And I love that description, like where it's like a nice wash of color. And I really like that for the day-to-day. I used to wear like you could like see a definite line of like where my eyeshadow ended. And this is just to me a lot softer and a little bit prettier, and you're a little bit more approachable to like, you know, the general public. So now I've gotten a lot better at blending and, you know, figuring out where the eyeshadow goes based on my eye shape. And so I definitely do a lot softer looks now. I mean, I still do fun looks, but like I do more softer looks more often. What was a makeup mistake you look back and regret? The first thing when I read this question that I thought about was my eyebrows. Like at the beginning of my makeup channel, I had freaking caterpillars for eyebrows, and now like my friends were like, oh yeah, like that was like really bad for you. And Thomas was like, oh my gosh, you look like you were a clown. I'm like, why didn't you guys say anything? They were like, we didn't want to hurt your feelings. But it was so freaking bad. Yeah. if you're a blonde like me, look for something like soft blonde, not taupe, universal. Universal shades are crap. You have to go in with like the softest hand. You cannot go in with a heavy hand because you will look like, apparently, a clown. When did you start watching YouTuber? Who was the first YouTuber you watched? The very first video I watched, I was a freshman in high school, but I really started getting into YouTube like as a sophomore and junior. The first YouTuber I ever watched, I don't even know if she's still on YouTube because I don't watch her videos anymore. Not for any reason, it's just her channel changed and I just wasn't as interested. But her name was Cassandra Bankson, or Cassandra, I don't remember exactly how she pronounced it, which I think is such a pretty name. And I started watching her because she had horribly severe cystic acne and I was in need of like knowing how to cover my acne. I didn't follow her instructions because I couldn't afford all of the products she had. But she went viral for a while, like because of this one video she uploaded showing how she covered her severe acne, and she's cleared it up now, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, she was the first YouTuber. The one after her I started watching was Tati. What YouTubers do you watch now and what makes you watch them? And how do you determine whether or not you subscribe to people? Wow, that's a very long question. So I watch a variety of different YouTubers, but if you've been watching me for a little bit, you've heard me say Jessica Braun about 20,000 times. I love Jessica Braun. I love her channel. She's makeup, lifestyle, miscellaneous. I don't care. Like, I just love her channel. I would love my channel to be similar to hers. She has a little bit of a more toned down personality than me. Like, she's funny and cute and like the girl next door, and sometimes I feel like I'm a little annoying. She's not annoying. I love her channel. She's my all-time favorite. After that, in the makeup category, well, she's makeup and lifestyle. I would say her name changed. Taylor Wynn, love her. Started watching her because of her acne videos. If you have really bad acne, go check her out. She's obviously a lot bigger than me. And she has like an Accutane journey. She's got like 15 days of foundation Fridays. Like, she knows everything about everything there is out there. I'm just saying, like, especially face related products. Of course, I like Tati. I don't watch her as much as I used to. I've been watching her during this quarantine though, because she's been doing a little bit more chill, laid back videos, and I almost like it more than her studio videos because it's a little bit more like, you know, we're hanging out in the living room or like we're just friends or whatever, and I really like that. I think that's why I like Jessica Braun so much, is she's just so homey and girl next door-ish, and I just feel like I'm hanging out with one of my friends, and I really like to think that if we ever met, Jessica Braun and I would be friends. I mean, she's like, what is she, 30 or 31 now? So she's older than me, but like, I would like to think that we'd be friends. I also really like Rach Loves and her Rach Loves Life. She's in the makeup and lifestyle and miscellaneous category as well. I like Kathleen Lights. She just cracks me up because she's got that cute, like, she's like, so today, like, she's got like the little accent, and I love it. And she's just so small and cute. Like, I mean, it's not like she's that much shorter than me. Like, I'm really short and small and everything, but she's just, I don't know, like, she's just so cute. And it's so funny because I'm talking about these people like, they're so cute, and they're like all older than me. I also really like, completely different from makeup and beauty and lifestyle, I like this guy. He plays the saxophone. Oh, his name is Brendan Ross. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Sorry. And he does saxophone covers of like all these different songs, and he has made me like songs that I don't like the original versions, like Justin Bieber songs. I'm not really a big fan of Justin Bieber, but when he plays those songs, like, it's so good. I started watching him when he released a cover of Taylor Swift's False God. Let me show you. Oh yeah, this is False God. Such a good song, and he like, I didn't know the song could get like sexier sounding, and he just made it so much sexier sounding. Oh, so good. He's an excellent saxophone player. All right, I'll shut up now. Anyway, yeah, I like him so much. I used to watch this other guy, but he stopped uploading. Tristan something. Yeah, he stopped uploading like randomly. And he released a video as to why, but he was a vocal coach that reviewed like songs and stuff. So what causes me to subscribe, gets a little bit weird because I am a smaller YouTuber, so I subscribe to a lot of smaller YouTubers to support them, and I watch their videos. And, you know, just to, because I want to be, you know, I'm a small YouTuber and I would like to think that, you know, I'm being nice or something when I subscribe to them and try, because I'm trying to support them and I'm trying to, you know, be encouraging, because I understand. I'm on the same journey myself. So I do subscribe to a lot of like smaller YouTubers before I actually ever watch their videos, and then I like watch them. But with bigger YouTubers, like, I have to really like you. Oh, another bigger YouTuber I like, Raw Beauty Christy. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to say her. Freaking love her, man. She is so funny. She does cuss a lot on her channel. So if you don't like that, I wouldn't go watch her, okay? Yeah, bigger YouTubers for me, I just have to like your personality. I have to like your content. I have to like your moral compass. Does that make sense? Because like for me, I can't watch certain YouTubers because I just like I need to trust you, because if you're gonna be recommending like brands or products or something, I want to know that you're being truthful and not just saying, you know, talking basically out of your butt. So yeah, it takes a lot for me to subscribe to bigger YouTubers. It's kind of like my friend group. Like I have a very small, tight-knit friend group, basically, and I don't have a whole lot of friends other than that. Like, I have no friends in Huntsville. I'm so lonely! And so I just really, like, I don't like cattiness, and so I try to avoid that in friend groups, and I try to avoid that with YouTubers, because I like to think that we're friends, even though they have no freaking idea who the heck I am. When did you start a YouTube channel, and why did you start it when you did? I started a YouTube channel almost a year ago. I think it was May 31st was my very first upload. And I go back and make fun of my freaking eyebrows, and my hair's a lot shorter and stringier because I fried the crap out of it. But yeah, so I've been here almost a year, and I had wanted to do it for like literally 2 years before that. And you know what stopped me? My boyfriend at the time. He did not want me doing it. He didn't think that I was gonna be strong enough to handle negative comments whenever they came, and he didn't want me spending time doing YouTube instead of spending time with him. That was literally what he said. Like, this is verbatim. This isn't me just being a crybaby. That's another thing. Don't let who you're dating tell you what to do. Like, don't let them tell you what makeup they think you should wear. Like, they can have an opinion and you can wear it like that if they like it, but don't let them like run your lives, okay? Yeah. And I really regret not starting it sooner. Maybe my channel would be bigger or something. What are your makeup complaints? What do you think companies are doing wrong? Companies are definitely getting better about things, but there are two things that really came to mind. And one of those is like broken record. I just think that some of them, like, there are a lot that are up on the shade range deal, like really light shades and really deep shades, specifically really deep shades. I think that women of color deserve, you know, just to have as much range as we do, because the white community, I don't know, like, it just seems silly to me that they wouldn't think of that. And there are a lot of companies that do it now, like Pure released their Love Your Selfie foundation with like 100 shades. I really like that foundation. It makes me break out. Fenty was really the first company that, like, because Rihanna is obviously like a woman of color, and that is her company, and she like released the foundation with like so many different shades and really broke into the market like that, and that was great. I think drugstore companies need to do that as well. I think they're a little bit behind on that, honestly, and I freaking love the drugstore, so I'm just saying. Another thing is eyebrow products, okay? There are still some companies who just do like a universal shade. Nobody has the exact same color eyebrows, okay? Also, being a blonde, it is hard to find a soft blonde shade. I like the CoverGirl one a lot. That's my favorite. I ordered the LA Girl, whatever it is, brow pencil that Jessica Braun has mentioned. There's her name again, in a blonde shade, but a lot of blonde shades are like this color, but like orangier, and my eyebrows are not this color. Like, obviously. They're a little bit cooler. That's just because, like, that's how the eyebrows are. Like, my mom's eyebrows are like that too. They're a little bit darker than her hair. So I think that they just need to be more accommodating to blondes, especially blondes that don't have orangey hair, because I don't know a lot of blondes that strive for that. Especially blonde, like, people who, like, you know, highlight their hair or try to get that icy effect or whatever. I just think that they need to come out with more, like, a wider shade range for eyebrows as well. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? How have you been getting through the quarantine? So I'm like a little bit in between. Like, I am perfectly fine hanging out at home, like watching movies, watching Netflix, watching YouTube, and just chilling and being by myself. But at the same time, I really like to go out and socialize. I am definitely the girl in the corner that's like, she's not super talkative, but if you go and like talk to her, like, I basically would just be your entertainment because I make a lot of jokes. And I said that really weird, jokes. I make a lot of jokes. Yeah, so I'm like somewhere in between. I'm an introverted extrovert, so I like social events, especially during this time when I can't go. Like, now I want to, of course, you know. But I'm definitely not one or the other. Like, I'm somewhere in between. Have I been getting through the quarantine? I've been recording a lot of YouTube videos, and I've been cleaning. I've been doing things around the house, taking care of the new puppy girl that's over there, and just keeping myself busy. I make a checklist every day of things I'm going to accomplish that day. I make sure I'm up on my laundry. I make sure I keep myself busy and don't just sit around doing nothing, basically. And I get up, and I did go like 2 weeks without wearing makeup because my skin decided to like wreak havoc, and I think it was because I started using this new thing that I love now, but it makes your skin purge first, so let my skin breathe. But a lot of times I do wake up and put makeup on just because it makes me feel like I'm doing something and I'm getting ready for the day. But there are some times where, you know, like I give myself a break and don't put makeup on, and that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I've just been kind of keeping myself busy. I've been hanging out with Thomas when he's home. He's still working because he's one of the essential job people apparently, and he doesn't see a whole lot of people anyway because he just like goes out to construction sites, whatever. I don't know. Oh yeah, I have to like introduce this. So for those of you who don't know, I moved out of my parents' house and moved in with Thomas as my boyfriend. Okay. I already knew he had a ring. I already knew we were planning to get married. So, and I just want to make clear that I don't know how to say this. I have not been the girl that was always like, I'm gonna move in with my boyfriend. Like, that was never, it's not something I've ever planned to do. I just did it because for me, it was like a stepping stone in my life that I needed to do. Like, I needed to, you know, kind of like move on with my life, I guess. So I stopped living with my parents and moved in with my boyfriend. They weren't super happy about it, and I understand that. But it's not like they hated me or something. It was just a step that we decided to take. And, you know, we got engaged like literally right after that. I think it was like 2 or 3 days after we moved in together, we got engaged. And being Christians, you know, it's not necessarily praised living with your boyfriend. But it was something that we decided to do, and we took, you know, we thought about it, and we just thought it was necessary, okay? Prefacing like the next couple of questions. Was it a hard transition living with your parents to living with your boyfriend / future fiance? Not really, like in terms of like living with him. Like, it was really weird because like all of a sudden, like I had never moved in my life. I had literally lived in the same house since I was born, and now I was living in an apartment in downtown Birmingham. By the way, really sketchy, don't do that. Don't live in an apartment in downtown Birmingham unless it's in like a safe area-ish. Are there any safe areas in downtown Birmingham to live? It was like weird in the fact that I wasn't living with my parents anymore and living in the same house I had lived forever. And like my parents and I had to like adjust to that situation or whatever. But like, we really acclimated well with each other, and we adjusted well. Like, it wasn't like one of those things, you know how everybody's like, you don't know how you're gonna get along with a person until you live with them and understand their habits and whatever. We are like really good with living with each other. Like, don't get me wrong, like we get frustrated with each other, but it's never like I'm so freaking annoyed with you, like I don't want to be around you. Like, it's never been like that. It's been like, it was really easy for Thomas and I to move in together, but like the transition from like my parents to his place was like weird. It was just like a weird time. And you probably noticed during that time that I didn't really upload at all because I was just like, it was just weird. Did you face any sort of criticism when you moved in with Thomas? Yeah, I didn't really tell a whole lot of people because it wasn't something we didn't want to advertise it, and that it wasn't even like, you know, like I don't hate on anybody for living with their boyfriend. Obviously I did it, so that would be ridiculous to do. And times have like kind of changed now, and so like I got a little bit, like his parents were the biggest fan of it and my parents were the biggest fan of it. We understood that and we took that into account, but like we didn't really go around like talking to people like, hi, this is like the person I'm living with. like, it wasn't like that. It was just kind of like on the down low, I guess. How do you and Thomas split house chores? So I do everything. No, I'm just kidding. I would say, so Thomas, especially like during this time, and since we moved up to Huntsville and I haven't had a job since being up here and it's driving me insane, he doesn't really do any chores. Like, I mean, like, we live in an apartment, so we've decided, like, when we live in a house, like, he will probably do all of the lawn work and outside work if we don't, like, you know, hire somebody to do it, and I'll do the inside work because I just like doing inside work. I hate lawn work, I hate mowing, I hate trimming, I hate edging, I hate all of it. And he's, you know, he's fine with it. I don't really know, like, house chores, I pretty much take care of all of it because it keeps me busy during this time, and also I just like doing it, and I'm like, it sounds so funny, I'm good at it. So I do most of them, and yeah, I pretty much do all of them. Okay, I was joking at the beginning, but I pretty much do, and it's not like I'm like, I do everything and he does nothing. No, like, he goes out and works, he's the breadwinner, so what am I gonna say? Like, I know that you like work during the day, but I wish you would just, like, you know, clean the house. No. So I do most of them, all of them pretty much, and then he just like helps me if I ask him to. Yeah, he's pretty good about helping. Like, if I'm like, hey, can you do this? Like, he gets the trash, I'll give him that. He does do the trash most of the time. Some of the time, half of the time he does the trash. That was like a really like weird answer. How do you and Thomas differ on dog parenting? As you guys know, and if you don't, Thomas and I just recently got a new puppy, Bella, and so this has been an interesting time. You know, like, puppies are good tests for babies, and that's true. Like, we, like, at the beginning, it was weird, because, like, we were getting acclimated, and, you know, she was keeping us up, and he was like, I have to work in the morning, and I was like, well, you need to help, and, in terms of, like, the way we raise dogs, there's not really any differences, except for, like, a couple of, like, words here and there. Like, the way I raised my dogs growing up, we use different words than he does. Like, my dogs were outside dogs, so I didn't ever say, do you have to go to the bathroom? And when we're about to take them out to go to potty, we say, you wanna go outside? It's more of like the verbiage that we've used and like the words. Now I spell things out. Like, I used to not have to spell out, you know, treats or food or whatever. Like, now we are like, oh, maybe we should give him a TREAT, whatever. So it's just like more of like the words we use, but in terms of like how we discipline, it's pretty much the same, which is good because, you know, I want to make sure we discipline the same for our kids too. How do you handle telling Thomas you need alone or private time? I don't really tell him that because he works during the day still during the quarantine. So like, I don't really need breaks from him. Like, I don't really get tired of him. I feel like I would probably if we were around each other more and if he were at home more during this quarantine. I don't really ever tell him I need private time or whatever. If I'm gonna go do something, it'll be like, I'm going here, but it's not really like, I need private time from you, like I need space or whatever. It's not like I need to be alone. I just am alone at home when he's not here, and that's when I do like my stuff, and when I film and when I get things done, I mostly do when he's not here. How do you maintain long distance friendships? That's an adult essential. I would say you need to keep in contact with your friends. You know, Snapchat them or text them like pretty regularly, because if you don't, then you're not gonna really talk to them anymore. Make sure that you're making time for your friends. Like, I understand, and most people understand, that your significant other is like the most important person in your life, but it's okay like to make time for friends and to call them on the phone if, you know, like they're living out of state or they're living a couple of hours away or whatever, and you can't just go down the street and see them. And so, you know, you just really need to make sure that you're taking time out of each day or out of every couple of days to talk to them, keeping in contact with them, asking how they're doing, you know, like asking how their relationship is going. Make sure that you prioritize them and prioritize your friendship. Pretty much goes with any friendship or relationship, I would say, you know, like it just really is emphasized when you are living away from each other. What habits have you learned about Thomas since you've been living together that annoy you? Ooh, the truth comes out. Thomas has a tendency to not throw things in the garbage. Like, the garbage is like right there, and there's like a countertop behind this, obviously, and the pantry's over there, like 2 feet away from the countertop, and he like refuses to throw his garbage away. Like, he will, if he's like drinking a White Claw or a Coke or like a beer or something, he will just set the empty container on the countertop. Why are you doing that? It annoys the crap out of me because like me being like the person who has to clean all the time, I'm like, dude, you can make my life just a little bit easier if you would please throw your stuff away. He also, like the most stereotypical thing ever, he freaking can't put the toilet seat down. And there have been many times where I've almost fallen in, and that is like so gross to me. And yeah, and he also doesn't know how to put toilet paper on the toilet paper roll. Like he'll just like, if he needs another one, he'll leave the empty one there and ask me to go get it, and he'll set it like on the countertop right above the toilet paper roll, and I'll just be like it's so frustrating. Or he'll just not get toilet paper, and I'll be stuck, you know, like without freaking toilet paper. I really think that's it. Like he's like, honestly, he's a dream to live with. Other than that, he's the best. Freaking love him, man. What is your favorite thing about Thomas and why? I got asked this like in our Q&A that he and I did together. We got asked this, and like that's such a funny question because there's not one thing I have about Thomas that I love. Like I just love everything about Thomas. Thomas is Thomas, and that's why I love him. And there have been like, we've been, you know, like every couple goes through rocky parts. So like when we've been in rocky parts, you know, I've been like, look, I'm not gonna leave because nobody is you, and I don't want somebody who's like you. I just want you because you're Thomas, and I love you as Thomas, as yourself. So basically the thing I love most about Thomas is that he's Thomas, okay? I know that sounds so vague, but it's true. Like there's not just like one singular thing or a couple of singular things that I just like about him. And the last question is, what's some advice you'd give to other small YouTubers? So I would say, because I'm guilty of this, stop comparing yourself to other small YouTubers. There's this particular YouTuber, and she is getting more views and she has more subscribers than I do, and we started close to the same time, like and she has significantly more than I do, and that's great for her. I don't like dislike her or anything. I watch her videos actually to support her, and she just like sometimes I'll be like, man, I just don't understand how I don't have that many, you know, subscribers and comments and likes and stuff, because I put so much effort into my YouTube videos, and I really do. Like I constantly think about YouTube, it's like a sickness or something. And so just don't compare yourself to other small YouTubers, because you are your own person, you're your own channel, and your growth will happen when it will happen, and it'll happen at the time it needs to. And also, because you are a small YouTuber, a lot of smaller brands on like Instagram and stuff will reach out to you and try to get you to promote their products. And don't let your desire to be noticed like overtake your moral compass, you know? So like if a brand reaches out to you, like let's say like it's a small makeup or skincare or like, I don't know, jewelry brand, and they're like, oh, please promote our products, you can be an ambassador. And you're like, because I was an ambassador for a very brief time for this jewelry thing, and I actually really do like their products, I do, but to be honest, I think they're maybe a little bit overpriced, so I stopped being an ambassador for them. And you know, don't let yourself get wrapped up in trying to get noticed, because you will get noticed in due time. And I can't say that like I've been noticed, because like I haven't had like a breakthrough video that's gotten, you know, like thousands of views or hundreds of thousands of views or even millions of views, which won't happen for a while, I'm sure. But you know, just stay true to yourself. Don't let your moral compass become in jeopardy because you're so wanting to be noticed by people. People will notice you. You will go on trending. Hashtag your videos, like put like hashtags and stuff like that. Recognize other small YouTubers. Like I try to make sure I recognize other small YouTubers, like in my video, like the last Shein one, I looked up like full faces of Shein makeup by other YouTubers, and I put them in my description box to make sure that people knew like, oh, there are other people, check out their channels, you know? And I started watching their channels because they're smaller YouTubers. A lot of them were like a little bit bigger than me because I'm very small. Like I haven't even reached 300 subscribers yet. It kills me, but I'm working on it. And you know, also be creative with your content. I would say, because of like, based on like the bigger YouTubers I watch now, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So for me, like once all this freaking coronavirus stuff goes away, I'm going to get like finish my schooling, get my degree, and get like, I'm planning on getting like a regular job. I don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket in being like a full-time YouTuber, as much fun as I think that would be, because I just want to have a backup plan. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm always the person that wants to have like a backup plan, and like, so YouTube is like a hobby for me, and I'm just being realistic. Like, I think that people who strive to be like full-time YouTubers are great, and that's an awesome thing to go after, but I'm just like a calculated risk taker. So I'm gonna be a YouTuber, but I'm also going to try to, you know, get a full-time job, have two different things going on, like my hobby and then like my actual job that pays and stuff. Because, you know, the thing is that the world like literally runs on money, and that's how you survive, because obviously. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys liked this Q&A of me and liked things that you learned, I don't know. And I hope you guys will come back and visit my channel. I am rebranding my channel from just being makeup to being like beauty and lifestyle. So like skincare, makeup, all that kind of stuff, and then like lifestyle stuff. So if you have any suggestions, like cute little like YouTube handle names, please leave them in the comments below, or DM me on Instagram, or email me even, because I'm trying to come up with like a cute name or whatever so I can start rebranding my channel. Yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell down below so you will be notified when I upload future videos, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I love you guys, and thank you so much to you guys who come back and watch my videos every time. I really do appreciate it. It means more to me than you know. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.